The elephant in the room is made up of several elements, different layers, which aim to bring as many people as possible into the project, so they can interact and engage with at least one part of the project. So we cover all the client group for adult day services and older adult day services, and gives everybody the chance to talk about the elephant in the room. It's a celebration, commemoration and remembrance of our shared experiences of the COVID pandemic 2020 to 2022. So the layers really are participatory art workshops, which are being held in Adult Day Services Disability Resource Centre, and it's a local artist called Kevin Cantwell who's creating a large sculptural artwork of a giant elephant, and he's been helped by participants in the workshops, and they're also creating their own small sculptures of elephants, all with the overriding idea of talking about COVID.
I'm Kevin, I'm an artist, local artist in Renfrewshire, and been asked by Lil to be part of the project of Elephant in the Room. So I ended up, the idea was to produce a big elephant to promote the COVID memories and different stuff like that. So I came up with the idea of that everybody kind of sat down and had a kind of cup of coffee or a cup of tea, and I thought it would be nice to just have a big massive elephant that people could sit with and have a cup of tea. So this is how the idea of the elephant with a cup of tea kind of came about. I had it in my head how I wanted it to be, so obviously I had a couple of pictures or a couple of prints of elephants, different designs, obviously where the trunk goes and sitting position. The thing was, I've always wanted to use a kind of metal frame, so I decided to do. We go down and kind of buy 8mm solid steel and then weld them together. So obviously they need to be all cut, hand bent, and then welded. Then once that's done, then we'll get them to write everybody's memories on the actual elephant. I find people when they get the opportunity to do art, it just gives them a release from everyday life. But the small elephants gives them the opportunity to have something of their own.
To be honest, when I started here, I didn't have a clue about art. I was totally art illiterate, but they guide you through it, and I think I've started to grow into it and learned things and stuff, It makes me feel as if I'm actually creating something that's going to last and something that's mine, something that I put a little bit of myself into.
What Kevin taught me is that art can be anything. It can be made from anything. It can be created. It's just imagination, really.
In the art group, like that creative 3D dimensional work, which has been really, really good. So they've all gelled doing that project because they're all doing the same thing. They're not thinking, that they're doing their individual wee drawings or whatever. That they've all came together and done that, and they're all helping be part of the big elephant as well.
We're at the Falcon Centre today, and it's an older adult day centre. And what we're doing today is, or what I've been doing today, is a reminiscence session for service users. But the whole point of the day centre and the whole point of things like a reminiscence session is to engage, in quite a simple level, on quite simple topics. Like today it was making a pot of soup, but it did lead to a few giggles, a few laughs, exchange of stories.
It's like a day out for me, and as I say, you're meeting people and having a wee chat. It's nice.
You meet people that from different backgrounds, different jobs that they had.
I like conversations and their background, and we laugh a lot. We laugh more than anything.
Oh, everybody's been so pleasant, and there's been no arguments or anything like that, and things has been good.
Talking to people, getting out in the morning, getting dressed up instead of sitting with my dressing gown on. And meeting people, doing activities like we did this morning.
People need people, and so we need people to speak to each other. We need all these groups. We need all the service users that's coming here. They love meeting other new people, and it's another journey for them, and that's their journey. When they do need that bit of assistance, or they need to get back into the community, this is then when we come in and step in and give them that.
There was also white elephant discussion groups, which I again led, and I facilitated those, and that was creating a safe space for staff in older adult day services where we could discuss different themes on the COVID pandemic. So the questionnaire itself, the response form, it did get got a good response. You filled it in anonymously, and you put it into a secure post box, which was at the 3 locations of the Disability Resource Centre, Ralston Day Centre, and the Falcon Centre in Paisley.
Yeah, I think we'd all filled it in within the first week or something of it going out. And the box was overflowing, and it was really good to see everybody's response, and nobody really said, no, I'm not filling that in. Everybody was really quite glad to fill it in, and I think quite glad to, for me personally, it was just writing thoughts that I had never really processed before onto the elephant, and I'm probably not the only one in that.
The first question, the responses from that, which were more related to like individual words, emotions, maybe dealing with your well-being or mental health, those get filtered back to the artist, Kevin Cantwell, him and the participants of the art group are writing that on these different words on the skin of the big architectural elephant.
I remember being at a meeting, myself and Irene had gone to a meeting, and they were talking about kind of COVID and stuff like that, and the fact that we might close down, and it was just like disbelief a wee bit, do you know what I mean?
These different strong opinions, and someone telling you that you can't go and see your parents who were ill, someone telling you you can't go to work, someone telling you, you're going to be really ill if you talk to someone in the street.
Actually watch how distressed people felt. Some people became a wee bit more low in mood, so you were trying to work out activities that you could do.
Lonely sometimes, miss a company, it's not a place to go than anything else, isn't it? And meet new people. So when it was shut, it wasn't very good. It doesn't imagine it very good for anybody.
The second question was really along the lines of, how did this impact on you? What did you do to cope? Did you take up a new hobby?
I was in contact with the staff for the centre every other day and whatever.
It was Jay every week. He was phoning the house every week just to see how we're getting on.
My son sent over shopping and boxes which I had to recycle, and No, I did get through it, and I was fortunate never to get the COVID.
And the third question really was, when you reflect back and look back to what happened during the COVID pandemic, have you got any advice for people in the future, or have you got any advice on how to live a good life?
I just think I've learned that life is far too short. Just live every moment, and then I think seeing the kind of aftermath of kind of people's mental health and things through lockdown as well, it's kind of opened my eyes as well.
Take it one day at a time, because you can do it.
I think people should just live their life and try and enjoy it.
This was a chance to actually explore all these things, to explore the elephant in the room, the things that we are all now just trying to get on with our lives. But in the background, there's a lot of hang-ups still about COVID. A lot of things happened, there's a lot of stories to tell. So the whole lot is going to get put together into there's going to be a short film produced, a kind of talking head style film, just giving people's opinions, ideas, stories, things they want to talk about. So that's going to be in an exhibition along with the giant elephant that's getting made, and it's just going to be a kind of celebration of, you know, how we get through COVID, what we feel about COVID, how we survived COVID and what our lived experiences of it, but also hopefully looking to the future, how we move on. And as a historian, because I'm an artist and historian, as a historian I would like it as part of the record of, the historical record of Renfrewshire.
A nice cup of tea for my tea, and when it's time for bed, there's a lot to be said for a nice cup of tea. Amen.